We've all heard the arguments against texting and driving. All of them are pretty good ones. Research tells us that taking your eyes off the road to text is even more dangerous than drinking and driving. In 34 states, including Kansas, it is illegal to text while you're behind the wheel, but that hasn't stopped many drivers. Besides putting yourself and others in danger, distracted driving can now have serious legal consequences. Attorney Tim Monsees is here to tell us about them. First off, does the law enforcement officials, do they even really ticket you for texting and driving? Have you come across those cases?
Well, we haven't seen anecdotally yet any particular episodes of folks being ticketed for this. There are so many exceptions, the way the statute is written, that I think it's going to be extremely difficult for any law enforcement agency to uphold any citation because of the laundry list of exceptions that would permit someone to use the device and text.
So it would be hard for law enforcement to prove?
Absolutely.
Okay. Tell us about the law in particular. In Kansas, it is illegal. But what about in Missouri?
In Missouri, it's limited to underage drivers or drivers under the age of 21.
Okay. And so when you say it is probably hard for law enforcement to prove, drivers in general, what should they do? I mean, we've all done it. I'm sure we have. I've done it. You know what, I try my best not to text, but I've done it. So what should they do? What is the toughest penalty out there? What should they be aware of? Well,
I mean, texting is just like any other distraction, whether you have a carload of your friends or whatever the case may be. Certainly, I think that it's a well-spirited, well-intended law. And certainly one of the exceptions is that you can pull off of the roadway, you can pull into a parking lot, and you can text at your leisure.
Mm-hmm. And have you seen any kind of accidents represented people in personal injury because they have fallen victim to texting and driving?
Absolutely. There have been cases where folks have been texting. It doesn't eliminate the basic complaint that they simply weren't watching where they were going. But if you add an explanation for why they were not watching where they were going, they ran into the back of a long stream of cars because they were texting their boyfriend or their girlfriend or whatever the case may be, then certainly you add some credibility to the claim that they should have been doing something more.
Do you think law enforcement, or at least the lawmakers, need to make the law that is currently in place in Kansas maybe a little bit more clear so that law enforcement can have a better case against people and prove their case if they are texting and driving?
I think it's difficult to do because certainly one of the things they wanted to make sure was that somebody could text if they had an emergency situation or to report a crime or things. So once you start crafting any exceptions into the law, then it becomes more and more difficult to enforce. Why was that person texting at the moment you stopped? And was it for a legitimate, permissible reason or one that was not permitted?
Yeah, definitely. Tim Monsees, thank you. Obviously, we're not promoting texting and driving. I mean, like I said, I've done it. You know, it is dangerous. It is not good. So be careful out there. You shouldn't do it. It is illegal in Kansas. In Missouri, it's illegal for anyone under the age of 21.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks again.